If you're drinking too much, you keep waking up hungover, a bit fragile, feeling sorry for yourself. I know exactly what it's like. I've been there. You tell yourself that I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to go to bed drunk. I'm not going to wake up hungover. I'm not going to feel like shit. I'm going to start chasing down my goals, chasing down my dreams, doing the things I said I was going to do, exercising, being present. But for some reason, you constantly keep chasing that escapism. I think because you know deep down you're not happy with where you are. There's one thing that I managed to channel that completely changed everything for me. And that was about 5 or 6 years ago now. I can't quite remember exactly when I gave up drinking, but it was definitely in one of the lockdowns. It was just being sick and disgusted with myself. I started to hate myself because of just where I was, all that wasted potential. And that was in my early 30s. So what am I now, 37? I think I maybe gave up 31, 32, something like that. And I was just sick of existing that way. I just knew if I didn't stop then, I was just going to continue this way. In a year's time, in another year's time, I'd be in exactly the same place with all my goals, all my hopes, just fading ever so slightly out of reach, just a little bit further. Because I think the saying goes, isn't it? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. So if you ever want to do something, you just need to do it now. It just gets a little bit harder as time goes on. But that's what initially sort of helped me quit drinking. It wasn't like a rock bottom. It wasn't like a proper, I fucked everything up, because I've had those before. I got arrested for drink driving in 2011. I've had so many near death misses. I've rolled a car as well on a different occasion. I've fallen in rivers. I've got into fights and wondered how I've ever made it home. It was just a conscious decision one day. I was the heaviest I've ever been, the most overweight, just puffy in the face, just constantly tired. I was just waking up every single day and just drinking a little bit in the morning just to get through the day, just take the edge off. And then I'd feel okay, and then I'd sort of continue a bit more in the evening. But it was getting to the point where nothing was really touching the sides, and I'd just end up necking spirits and blacking out. And then I'd wake up so horrendously hungover that I had to have another drink just to take the edge off. And that's kind of to the point where it was getting, where I just felt sick of my stomach at what I was doing to myself. And then it was just that conscious decision. I think I woke up that day, I think I had a couple of beers to take the edge off, and then I woke up after that, had some soup and thought, fuck this. Do you really want to get to your deathbed, waste all that potential, all the things you wanted to do, start running, do some marathons, do a Spartan, do strongman competitions, get back into martial arts, actually be like men's health cover body, like worthy, like ripped, because that's what I always wanted. But I was there with a massive overhang, feeling like shit. I had no sense of pride, no nothing, just constantly drinking, escaping, just to feel a little better in the moment. A good day, a bad day, it all warranted a drink, didn't it? But for me, that conscious decision that day of just, nah, you're meant for more than this. And I always feel a bit cliche and a bit douchebaggy when it feels like there's more I'm capable of, like I'm special. And I hate using that kind of phrase, but there's some kind of burning desire in me that wants to achieve more, that wants to do more, that wants to chase down these entrepreneurial goals, that wants to help people, that wants to see what I can actually do. And I think that is one of the biggest driving forces behind it. That darkness was inside me, pushing me to stop drinking because I didn't want to keep going down that road. And then that in itself kind of becomes your own superpower. There's so many people I know that are just comfortable. They're comfortable in their existence. They want to change. They want to lose a bit of weight. They want to do a bit of exercise. They want to maybe start a business, but they don't want it enough because they haven't got that kind of dark power inside them. And I kind of look at it a bit like Batman. Like he's got that kind of dark rage inside of him for the things that happen to him, and that's kind of how I feel. Like people don't really understand what drives me, and it's not going back to the same person I was. Getting as far away from that motherfucker as possible, because that person disgusts me, that person scares me. That is not me living up to my potential. So it's just making that decision, feeling shit enough about yourself that you have to stop. And I'm sure there's people watching this which will resonate with this entirely, and there'll be people that watch this that just go, don't know what you're talking about. I'm quite happy. I'll have a few beers here and there, and they're the people that are comfortable. They're the people that are comfortable. I think you need to have that all or nothing mentality that I think a lot of people I know have, where if you're going to do something, you're going to do it bloody well. Like I joke, I tell people I've completed drinking. They ask me, why don't you drink? Well, I completed drinking, you know. I've exceeded it to its max level. Now, I never was hospitalised or anything like that. I've always been a bit of a unit, so I've always been able to hold on to my drink. But, you know, I've ticked a lot of things off the box. Panic attacks, so bad that I wouldn't be able to drive anywhere for fear of being stuck at traffic lights or on dual carriageways. Panic attacks, being trapped in queues, just simply getting shopping. Just mad amounts of anxiety, just that crippling anxiety the day after being on a bender. As I said, crashing my car twice, getting arrested once, being banned from driving for 2 years. Like, I've done it, I've completed drinking. I don't need to justify myself to people now. But what I want to try and do is help other people, give them a message, give them the tools that can help them quit drinking. And I think sometimes there's so many books out there, there's so many other things out there that might not necessarily resonate. I think there's something about that darkness, something about that just being fucking sick of who you are, just fucking sick of it, disgusted when you look in the mirror. That is what made me stop, and I'm sure if you guys can feel that way and channel that and just make that conscious decision, just today, I'm gonna fucking stop this shit because I'm not living up to my potential, then I feel like this video has been worthwhile for people. And since then, it's just a matter of getting through each day at a time, and it's not easy. I know it's not, it's hard. There's going to be things that are going to trigger you, things that are going to make you want to drink, things that are going to push you, but just getting through each day at a time and just telling yourself, I'm meant for more, I'm meant for more. There's so many things I can do, so many things I can be capable of. Being present for myself, for my family, for my friends, being better at my job, chasing down those little goals. I mean, everyone's got things they want to do, but they just don't do it. So that's the message I want to share. Use that darkness, use that inner hate just to fucking stop this. Just go, nah. That's pretty much exactly the conscious decision I used to stop drinking. And since then, I've never looked back. Every day I've made progress. I'm now addicted to progress, and that is kind of what my all or nothing mentality is about. But if anyone's found this video useful, give it a like, subscribe. This channel is all about kind of rebuilding the man from the ground up.